It is time for your 10th of August AEW Dynamite review. So that can only mean one thing. It's that time of the week again where I feel like actually putting dynamite in my mouth and lighting the fuse. But with that said, I've got a shitload of notes here because this show is shit. So let's just get straight into it. We kicked off with Darby Allin versus Brody King. So Brody King's making his way down for the coffin match. The lights go out. All of a sudden he's in the ring. And then we see Darby Allin leap from the top rope and they're all marking it. Oh, how did Darby get there? And all this stuff. I mean, who cares? I wish he wasn't there. I don't want Darby there. Get Darby to fuck. Then Darby has a skateboard with tacks in it. Starts hitting Brody King with it. And then he scrapes the skateboard across the face, across the forehead of Brody King, and then Brody King starts bleeding. And yeah, there is quite a lot of blood here, but to me, this just shows you there's no psychology in these matches. They can't work good matches. Straight away, they have to go for the blood, and it's like, I just don't recall seeing this. I mean, you think of matches in the past, they never bleed straight away. You know, the blood always happens during the match, like in the middle of the match, towards the end of the match. They actually have psychology first, but these two, I guess, don't know anything about wrestling, so in the first 30 seconds, they have to bleed like shit. And I mean, have you noticed that about AEW? How many people bleed? It's like, literally, people bleed like shit. They bleed like stuffed pigs every single show, man. It's embarrassing. Sometimes less is more, and that's how I feel with blood. Like, back in the day, when you got blood, you were like, wow, he's bleeding. See, now it's like 3-4 people every week on AEW are bleeding. And why should we care? You know? I don't. But yeah, lots of blood, no psychology. Then the lights go out. House of Black appear. Julia Hart trips Darby Allin by the foot. This allows Buddy Murphy to get in and beat up Darby Allin. I mean, Julia Black is hot, but that's pretty much the only thing I like about the House of Black. Then they're making their way up the ramp. Buddy Murphy is going to grab the coffin, I guess, to help Brody King. He opens up the coffin door, and it's Sting, the icon. And he takes about 10 years to get out the coffin. I mean, this was like Sting imitating Undertaker, the dead man, but only Sting was actually dead here. He moved that slow. He was dead or undead. But Jesus, normally you see Taker in the coffin as a surprise. He would just bolt up, you know, he would sit up and you'd go, holy shit, it's Undertaker. But here we got old man Sting, and it took him about 10 years to fucking climb out the casket, man. What were they doing? Honestly. What were they doing? I mean, if you think of everything that Sting has done in AEW so far, no one is going to remember it. Let's be real, it has been all garbage with Darby Allin. And there's been a couple of things where you're like, oh, that was pretty cool with Sting. But in 5 years, you ain't going to remember anything with Sting. Could you imagine if Sting went back to the WWE and had that one-on-one match with Taker at Mania? Even if the match wasn't great, I guarantee it would have been memorable. I guarantee you in 10 years we would have said, remember that time it was Sting versus Undertaker at WrestleMania? Yeah, no, we would have remembered that. But this, we won't remember this next week, guys. I'm almost forgetting it. That's why I have to take notes. This shit's so forgettable. I have to write down a bunch of notes else I couldn't review the show. But anyway, Sting gets up after about 10 years, starts hitting Buddy Murphy with the bat. Then he gets in the ring and Malachi Black confronts Sting, or Sting confronts Black, and Black just walks off. Sting views this as like disrespect. Sting then walks after Black. I thought Sting was going to join the House of Black here, but well, he might still, but he didn't tonight. Buddy Murphy's been taken out the game. Julia Hart, don't know where she is. Hopefully fucking in my bedroom, even though she's not. Then we get Darby Allin. He's like choking out Brody King with like this chain, similar to how Brody King eliminated him a couple weeks ago in that Royal Rumble thing, that Rampage Rumble. And then he drops him and he bounces off the mat on the outside and lands in the coffin, and that's it. Darby Allin gets the win. Very shit match, guys, right? Nothing good here. I mean, there's no way Darby Allin should be beating this guy. I mean, come on. I mean, he's like double, triple his size. It's embarrassing. Plus, Darby Allin, man, he looks like a fag. He does. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend he doesn't with the little fucking denim, you know, booty shorts on and tights. I mean, he fucking dresses like a girl. What is this shit? and people think this guy's great. This is the new Mick Foley. Fuck, no, definitely not. Anyway, Darby Allin wins, so if you care, then good for you. I certainly didn't. This whole show was horrible, by the way. I've just got to say it here. This was a bad show. But I know it's always bad, but yeah, this was really bad. We have a Moxley promo backstage. He says he's going to rename the title FYI. And were we supposed to get this? Was this a reference? I didn't get nothing. I was just sitting there thinking, damn, Moxley sucks. People think this guy's the best member of the Shield. He's by far the worst. It's actually embarrassing how bad this is. Shite promo. Then we get Chris Jericho doing a promo directly after it. As Lionheart, Chris Jericho says, Moxley, you wanted it. You're getting it tonight. I'm going to stretch your ass. He says teeth can heal. You can fix, scars can heal, cuts can heal, you can fix teeth, but you can't fix what I'm about to do to you tonight so easily. I'm going to stretch the shit out of you, Moxley. And when you see these, I mean, it wasn't a great Jericho promo. He doesn't really have a lot to work with here. But when you see two promos back to back, when you see Moxley and then straight away you get Jericho, it's like night and day. I mean, people say Moxley's good on the mic. No, he's definitely not. I mean, come on, you compare Moxley with Jericho, there's only one winner. Then we get Andrade and Rush. Had no idea this was Andrade. I mean, this is how much of a bum this guy is. He had a mask on the entire time. I think he took it off when he got to the ring. They tied Dark Pentagon Jr. to the ropes. JR's like, oh no, not the dreaded knot, the double knot. So they're tying his hair into a double knot on the ropes. I mean, Jesus Christ. Then Andrade and Rush pinned the other guy when it was 2-on-1. So Andrade and Rush beat the two guys in masks. I mean, who cares? Who cares? Oh, awful. Absolutely awful. Oh, talking about awful. Doesn't get much worse than this. Cringe Fest City. It's the Bucks backstage. They go into Adam Page's locker room. They want him to be... They're almost crying here, like, oh, we're sorry, Adam. You know, our favorite time in the company is when we were together, and people don't think we're nice people, but when we're around you, Adam, we're really nice people, and it creates really nice memories, and I would like you to be our tag team partner next. And then Adam Page like, hey, I want to bum you guys too. I want to add in Tony Khan, and the four of us can shag each other all night long. But tonight, for this trios tournament, I can't, because I have to be bum buddies with the Dark Order. So Adam Page basically says, look, I can't be in a freeway, you guys, because I'm in a threesome with the Dark Order. Very cringy acting here, very bad. Then the Young Bucks leave, and I mean, Adam Page, how is this guy world champ, seriously? And now he's hanging around with the Dark Order, the fucking worst stable I've ever seen in wrestling. Come on. What is this? What is this? Like, let's see what's next on the notes. Luchasaurus versus some guy I've never heard of. Not like AEW to put on a match where you know who's going to win it in 10 seconds, eh? Luchasaurus wins. Surprise, surprise. Then we get Christian on the Titantron. He says he's not here tonight because he said he's not competing tonight because the fans don't deserve to see him. Jungle Boy runs to the back, tries to grab him. Security's there. Christian gets away. Luchasaurus comes out. They start beating up security. But then Luchasaurus headbutts Pat Buck, who is like a, I don't know what, he's like a, what is his name, producer? I mean, what's his title in AEW? I don't know, producer or something like this? Road agent? Who knows? Who cares? And they make out as if Luchasaurus has just committed the crime of the century. So it's alright to beat the shit out of security guards who are just doing their job, who are just trying to prevent you from, you know, destroying the place and attacking Christian. But, you know, you headbutt a guy who was also doing what the security were doing. He was trying, you know, Pat Buck was doing the exact same job as the security. And apparently that's, you know, the worst thing ever, man. I don't get that. Nothing great here. You know, Christian's the best part of this show, and we got him for like 5 seconds, and he didn't even get to say anything of worthy. So, I mean, you know, what a bad show this is. But then get Rusev backstage. Julia Hart's touching him. He says only one woman can touch him. And I wonder how many women Rusev can touch, though. I guess we'll maybe find out if Ano, or I should say Lana's coming to the company here. That's what they should definitely call her. Just call her Ano. Fuck it, why not? Go for it. Be edgy. Do it. I dare you. I double dare you. What have we got to lose? This show's garbage anyway. I mean, why? You know what? Why sex celebration? Ano makes her debut, and Rusev comes out and just gives her up the ass with the big Bulgarian brute. You know, the big Bulgarian fucking bulldozer up the hole. That's what I would do. That's how I would book this shit. But we'll see. We'll see. Rusev can ram himself up Lana just like he rammed that tank down to the ring at WrestleMania for a big match, John. Aye, anyway, getting a bit carried away here. Got to try and excite yourself when you're doing this, or else you would fall asleep. But yeah, Rusev says that, what did he say? His path to the House of Black is clear. He accepts the House of Black's gift, and he's going to use it on them. I mean, what? What is this, Game of Thrones or something? What is this? Garbage, that's what it is. Right, go take a drink, my own brew, guys. Give me 10 seconds here. That's the best my life's got in the last 10 minutes. One more sip, guys, and we'll resume this review. I'm ready. I'm back. Here we go. Up next, we had Lethal, Dot, and Singh. They're in the ring. I mean, this Singh guy absolutely sucks. And it's weird that we all wrestling fans agree with something, but even like the cool wrestling fans like myself and the horrible marky AEW wrestling fanboys, I think we can all agree this Singh guy sucks, right? If you've got a guy who's over 7 foot, why would you not portray him to be a monster? As soon as he comes out dressed like Sanjay Dutt, as soon as he comes out dressed like Jay Lethal, you're taking away from his character. You're taking away from the fact this guy is a giant. I mean, you didn't see Umaga come out in suits. You didn't see the Big Red Machine come out in suits until he was, you know, Corporate Kane. You didn't see that. I mean, the Great Khali legit came out with big black boots and, you know, big black fucking, you know, like black trousers, and that was it. You know, he was dressed in black, and it was plain, and he looked like a monster, and he had the, you know, like the big fucking massive chest hanging out. Whereas this Singh guy's coming out like a businessman, and he's not. I thought he was supposed to be this big monster that, you know, can destroy people 7'2", but he's coming out dressed like a normal, civilized human being. What sense does it make? You know what it makes? It makes no sense. Because it's AEW, and this show's shit. And to that fucking arsehole that's going to come in the comments and pretend I'm a clown, mate, you're the biggest fucking clown. You think this show's the best show of all time, right? So, pipe down, son. If you don't like it, then just leave. I mean, who cares? You're as irrelevant as this show. Anyway, let's move on here. Wardlow, they want another match with Wardlow for this time. Lethal wants Wardlow to put the title on the line because he beat him last time when the title wasn't on the line. Wardlow comes out and says, you've got your rematch, but tonight I'm going to kick all three of your asses. And that's it. I mean, just boring and bland. I mean, Wardlow, you know, he's the right kind of size. Physicality-wise, he's decent in the ring. He's got a good look to him. But that's kind of as far as it goes. I mean, talking-wise, you can see why he's with MJF. I don't think this guy is the all-round package. I mean, he's got a good look and he's okay in the ring for a reasonably big guy. But he can't talk. He is horrible. I mean, he seems like Vince McMahon's kind of dream guy, you know, but I don't know, in terms of... He's just not ready for a big solo push. He's not. What else do we have? Yeah, so it's 3-on-1. FTR come out and help Wardlow. And then they did a double team on, what's his name, Jay Lethal. I mean, Jay Lethal, he went from wrestling Flair to this shit. I feel bad for the guy. Then we have the Jericho Appreciation Society. They cut a promo talking rubbish about tonight. Garcia says he's the Dragon Slayer. I swear to God, this is Game of Thrones. And he's going to face Daniel Bryan next week, 2 out of 3 falls. And then Anna Jay says to somebody backstage, "Oh, do you think he's lying? Do you not think he's the Dragon Slayer? I'm going to choke you out." And then she runs over and jumps on top of some chick and starts choking her out. I fucking wish she would jump on top of me. That would actually make watching this pretty good. But nah, it's just horrible. It's phony. It's overdone. I mean, what they trying to do? Make Anna Jay some like crazy fucking chick that, oh, you looking at me, I'm going to jump on you and choke. I mean, realistically, she's not like she's known to be this, like, MMA fighter. This random chick could have probably actually beat her up in a real fight, yet we're supposed to believe she's choking everybody out, so I don't get it. I mean, normally if you're the hot chick, you don't really fight. You're not supposed to be choking people out. Leave choking people out for the ugly ones like Shayna Baszler. Aye, we're going to turn the page here on the notes. I wish at this stage I felt like turning it off, but now we have to keep on going. We've got Starks versus somebody for the factory, and Starks wins in about 10 seconds. What a surprise. I mean, it's not like AEW do about 3 or 4 of these matches every show. Definitely not. But yeah, Starks beats this guy for the factory. Then another guy from the factory runs out, attempts to beat him up. He attempts to swing the steel chair at Starks. Starks ducks. This guy just awkwardly drops the chair. And then Starks hits him with a spine buster. Then the rest of the factory come out. And they must just be... What is this? A factory creating the most boring, bland jobbers of all time? I know this whole show's full of jobbers, but Jesus... This factory guy, I mean, they just produce, like, the worst people of all time. I mean, it's the guy that swung the chair deserves to die. I mean, it was one of the worst chair swings you'll ever see. And I've seen quite a lot of chair swings. I've seen Mandy Rose swinging a chair a couple weeks ago in NXT, and I thought that was bad. But, man, this was horrendous. Then Starks escapes through the crowd. So, that is what it is. And yeah, we have Powerhouse Hobbs backstage. He's destroying a TV because he's not happy. He's not happy that Starks used his spine buster in the ring. Jesus. Well, if that's the biggest thing you've got to be unhappy about, mate, things are okay. Then we've got Billy Gunn. He's criticising the Gun Club backstage. He's criticising his sons. He says that they ruined the only match he made famous, and they ruined it in under 10 minutes. Then we had Stokely appear. He told Grandpa Ass to like calm down. I thought that was pretty funny. He says, shouldn't you? It's past 8 o'clock. Shouldn't you be in your bed? He says there's like some old folks food down at catering. He hands his card out to the Guns. Billy Gunn takes his card and like just squeezes it with his hand and tells him he's about to have a really bad day because he's badass. Billy Gunn. So I mean, Stokely walks off. And then we get Danhausen appear after Billy Gunn tells his sons he's got them a match for Rampage. Danhausen appears, says, "Oh, Friday, me and you. It's going to be you two versus me and the guy with the beard." And then they tell him to go away, and that's it. I mean, what's this Danhausen's point? Why is this guy even here? So on Rampage, we're getting Danhausen and Eric Longbeard. Eric, the shit member of the Wyatt family, versus the Gun Clubs, you know, the shit version of the Gun family. So I guess this match has got quite a lot in common. What did we get next here? I can't even see these notes. Hold on. Three guys. Oh yeah, how could I forget about this? Best part of the show. 3 guys approach Orange Cassidy backstage. No, and he's standing with 2 other people. No idea who these 2 people are. I've no idea who the 3 guys are. I know one of them is the guy that was with Joe Gacy in NXT. The big freak-looking guy. The guy that said the next Brock Lesnar. Basically, the guy talking says he's the richest guy in AEW and that he wants to recruit Orange Cassidy if he drops these other 2 bums. Orange Cassidy says, I don't know what your answer, I don't know what your proposal is, even though he just told him. He's like, I don't know what you want, but my answer's no. And then the guy walks, oh, you're going to see what happens if you say no to me, and then he walks off. I mean, really? First of all, here's the problems with AEW. First of all, roster's too big. Way too big. I mean, there's about 50 people too much on this roster. Secondly, like 95% of the roster fucking sucks. So not only has it got a big roster, but they're all shite. I mean, that's your. I mean, it's one thing having a massive roster if your roster's good, but when you've got a massive roster and the roster's like fucking dog shite, then you are in trouble, man. It's as simple as that. Then we get the TBS title. It's Jade Cargill versus Rain, trying to make it 37-0 or whatever, 36-0, and Jade Cargill wins. She had help with the baddies, I think. Beats Madison Rain. Who cares? Then we get the champ Thunder Rosa and OnlyFans. I'll show my tits as long as I'm not showing them on WWE TV. Tony Storm backstage with another Storm. I can't remember who the other Storm was. And apparently now it's Tony Storm getting a title shot because the weird chick that looks like an alien is injured. Then Tony Storm says, well, I didn't think it would happen this way, but I would like that title. And then Thunder Rosa's like, you know, we can be friends, but when you face, until you face this title. Horrible, right? Horrible. What can you say here? Garbage. Absolute garbage. One of the worst things on the show. And then we get into the main event. It's Lionheart, Chris Jericho versus Jon Moxley for the title, the interim title. They were arguing, by the way, during this match whether it's the interim title's a correct term. Now, at least in this match, we didn't get blood till towards the end. Jericho was busted open pretty badly, but I mean, at least when you've got Jericho in the ring, he knows what he's doing. Unlike this Moxley guy who... No, not Moxley. Unlike the two in the opener. I mean, bleeding straight away. What was that all about? But, yeah, no, it's Jericho. Not Garcia. What's the other guy called? The guy with the hot chick. Sammy Guevara comes out. Moxley. Jericho's busted open everywhere. I mean, it was an okay match. It wasn't the worst match in the world. Jericho was true to his word. Did stretch the shit out of Moxley, and he applied the figure four multiple times. Couldn't get it done. Moxley then chokes at Jericho. Jericho's got blood everywhere. I mean, blood's literally dripping out his head, landing on the mat. Jericho looks like he's going to try and get out to the ropes, but he doesn't do it. And then he has to tap out. After the match, the JAS all come rushing out to the ring. They're about to get in the ring and beat up Moxley. But then out of nowhere, open your eyes. CM Punk returns. CM Punk saves Moxley. Well, I say saves him. He just kind of stands in the ring, and then the JAS don't bother coming for him. So that's what happened there. And then we get Moxley looking around. We've got CM Punk looking around. They look at each other. And that is it, guys. That is how the show went off the air. So, aye. It wasn't great. I mean, the main event was okay. But everything else absolutely sucked. So, yeah. That's the notes getting ripped up right there. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about this show. But like I said, I thought the main event was okay. And for that reason, I will give it a 1. Without the main event, I'd probably give it like a -5. But yeah, this show is just horrible. Full of jobbers. Full of people that absolutely suck. Just nothing to like about it. And yeah, that's it, guys. AEW, it's the worst show every week, isn't it? If we're being honest, it's the worst wrestling show, hands down. I would say Rampage is better because it's shorter. So that's it, you know. I'd rather watch 1 hour of shit than 2 hours of shit. And on that note, guys, 1 out of 10. That's what you're getting. Till next time. Peace.